What's going on, everyone? It's Eman here from the C-List Villains podcast, and today I'm talking my new comic book day picks for September 15th, 2021. Let's go. Before we get started, do me a favor, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that way you guys get notified anytime I drop any one of these new videos. This past new comic book day week was actually a super light week for me back on September 8th. However, September 15th seems to be a little bit heavier. There were quite a few books on there that I was really excited for, but I had to it's my top three, so I can only talk my top three, and then when I have a guest on here we talk a little bit more. But this time around you guys got me, and it's okay because guess what, I'm going to give you guys my top three. I'm going to focus on you guys a little bit more today, but let's go ahead and get things started with my number 3 pick. I'm gonna go with the team, and I absolutely loved the series that these two worked on prior to. It ended last December, went for 27 issues. It was Gideon Falls, and I absolutely loved that story. I thought that story was great. It was crazy. Now, with the team of Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino, I'm going with Primordial #1. And honestly, the premise sounds crazy, cold world, big monkeys and whatnot, but because it's a team that I trust is the reason why I'm going with this one right here. I'm doing my best not to try to start a new series until I finish some. And recently I ended up finishing 5 or 6 series like within a month. So I can pick up some more. And I'm going to go with Primordial #1. This one sounds crazy, and I don't doubt that Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino are going to give me the same quality with this book that they did with Gideon Falls. Let me go ahead and read a little bit about it. Mind-bending sci-fi collides with cold world thriller in this 6-issue miniseries by the best-selling and Eisner-winning creative team behind Gideon Falls. See, that's why you have to read this. And if you haven't read Gideon Falls, go back and read Gideon Falls. Fantastic. In 1957, the USSR launched the dog Laika into Earth's orbit. 2 years later, the USA responded with 2 monkeys, Abel and Baker. These animals never returned. But unbeknownst to everyone, they did not die in orbit. They were taken. And now they're coming home. They want to know what home's about now after they've been gone for so long. This sounds really interesting. I want to know. I mean, this is great because now it's like they're taking real life events and twisting it. Like, what happened with these animals that we shot into space? In real life, obviously they died. They were up there. Back then there was no PETA. No one cared about the animals, and that sucked. But those animals sacrificed themselves for the greater good. Greater good. The greater good. For human space exploration. So to you guys, but. Now they're taking a twist into it, and now we're going to see what actually happened. Well, not what actually happened. What in sci-fi happened, really, But we're going to see what happened to these animals. What's going to happen when they come back? Are they going to be, bigger? Are they going to be muscular? Are they going to have a bigger brain? What's going to happen? I'm interested. Let's see what's going to go on with this one. So that right there, Primordial #1 is my number 3 pick for New Comic Book Day on September 15th, 2021. Okay, let's get into my number 2 pick. I enjoyed the first one. I was like, oh, okay, I'll pick it up. Let's see. Sometimes you want to pick something up because it looks cheesy. And this one looked absolutely cheesy. Listening to the premise, I was like, oh, let's see how this goes. I read the first book. It was fun. It was ridiculously fun to me. I found it. So look, I'm a simple-minded guy, you guys. Sometimes I don't need it to be super convoluted like a Department of Truth. Sometimes I just need some cheese in my life, This one was absolutely cheesy. We're talking about a mob hitman defending a neighborhood from a dragon. I'm talking about Aftershocks Campese, the Dragon Incident #2, written by James Patrick. Art is from Marco Licati. This book was ridiculous, and I want to know more about it. So let me go ahead and talk to you about what #2 is about. Madoni. The friggin' dragon has flown into Green Village with an ultimatum, and since that neighborhood is run by the mob, it needs to be handled in a certain way so as not to attract attention. This means now Sonny Campese's problem to navigate. But as he tries to fix it, one complication after another arises, not the least of which is that the dragon is kind of an asshole. They say a-hole, but we all know what it meant. This sounds ridiculous. And I had a really good time with number 1, so I'm hoping that number 2 can continue with that same level of fun. So Campese, Mob Hitman, Dragon. Honestly, you guys really, sometimes you just, like I say, you just need some cheese in your life, and this is it. This is it right here, you know. So Campese number 2 is my number 2 pick for New Comic Book Day. All right, you guys, down to my number 1 pick. And I know there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of great books that are coming out. You guys know how much I love Wind, but Wind was left out this week only because the last issue felt like a filler. And I feel like this next issue may be a filler also. I still love the story. I'm still enjoying the journey and what's happening, you know, and then, you know, I'm still going to plug Wind because you guys know how much I really like that book. And it's going to be consistently in my picks somehow, some way. But I just want to let you guys know that... Okay, maybe we're doing top 4. Let's go ahead and say top 4. They're right here. Top 4 New Comic Book Day picks. All right. But I'm really enjoying this series a whole lot. This next one, my number 1 pick, actually, the ending of the last issue was one of those moments where you're like, you don't want to believe it. You don't want to believe it. But then you freaking knew it. You just knew that there was something going on. We had to find out who the spy was. And you knew it wasn't who they thought it was going to be. You knew they had an idea, and one of these people threw them off. What I'm talking about are the seekers, holders, keepers. You know I'm talking about. Tom Taylor and Daniela De Nicuolo's hit comic book, 7 Secrets. I'm talking about 7 Secrets number 12. At the end of the last issue, a team goes into Switzerland to recover the first secret, which what I thought was the first secret was revealed, and I didn't think that they were going to be able to retrieve it. Apparently, that's the only thing that's retrievable in what used to be Switzerland. And I believe we're calling it a country killer. These secrets are absolutely dangerous. If that first secret was at that magnitude, you kind of get an idea what the other secrets are, I believe, in issue 10, when Ava takes over the society. But at the end of issue 11, we find out who the spy was. And you're like, you son of a bitch, I knew it was you. Oh, and I thought it was a fantastic ending to that, to number 11. Then you find out the romantic connection between the protagonist and when you thought was an antagonist, and you're like, you son of a bitch, I freaking knew it. And it's always the ones that have the cool designs to them too. You're like, dude, I'm attracted to this person's design. They're cool, they're dope. I'm feeling, but there's something about you. God damn you, freaking Kanto. Yes, I'm going to spoil number 11. I don't believe what happened at the end of number 11. Kanto, he's the goddamn spy. Oh, that hurt. That hurt because I didn't want to believe it, but yet I knew it. And I'm going to be rambling on about that. And that's what I loved about the number 11. Just had a fantastic ending. So now I'm expecting number 12, and I believe this is the ending to the second arc right here. So we're going to find out what happens with Eman, Kanto, and then the rest of the keepers and holders, and the first secret's in Eman's hands. You know, now he's trying to get the other 6, and man, let's see what goes on with this. This is such an adventure. I honestly can't wait. I'm hoping, but yet not hoping, that we do get some kind of animated TV show, or maybe a movie from 7 Secrets, maybe like a trilogy. You know, that'd be awesome, because this is such a fantastic, it feels very much like a 007 anime TV show. It's great. I love it. Tom Taylor, you're doing a fantastic job. This is my favorite Tom Taylor book, to be honest. I know a lot of people have the Batmans and whatnot, and the Dark Knight. No, to me, it's 7 Secrets, and it's AJ who introduced it to me. You know, I'm like, I don't know about 7 Secrets. You know, back when he was talking about it, and I gave it a shot. I was like, this is fantastic. It's actually really good. AJ has some fantastic recommendations. You guys really should listen to what he's got to say when it comes down to some of his picks. Well, that's it for my top 3 new comic book day picks for September 15th, 2021. I know I didn't have any DC. I didn't have any Marvel this week. You know how I am, you guys. I like my indies. You know, those are the ones that I gravitate to the most. But let me know down in the comments below what books did I miss. Like I said, I'm putting in Win. That's my close number 4 right there. Eman's top 4 picks for comic book day, September 15th, 2021. But what book did I miss? Because September 15th is going to be heavy. So I want you guys to let me know what your top 3 picks down in the comments below. All right. All right, you guys. Remember, I co-host the C-List Villains podcast. New episodes come out every Monday and Thursday live at 8 p.m. Live at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on YouTube. You can find us on the C-List Villains podcast. And then keep in mind, those shows do go on iTunes, Spotify, and your favorite podcast app as our podcast. So if you guys can't watch us on the live, you guys can go ahead and listen to us on your way to work and enjoy the super melodic voices of Luke and AJ and Red, and sometimes me. All right, you guys. Well, that's it. Thanks so much for hanging out. Until the next issue. Deuces.